high definition. Okay, so, the format war. What was it all about and why should we care? Well, one of the reasons we should care is because it went on for so bloody long. It went on for almost 2 years. HD DVD versus Blu-ray. Anytime anybody looking up information on the new, latest, greatest high def info, that's all we would hear about is this bloody format war. It just kept going and going and going. So anyway, I wanted to address sort of some of the things that have cropped up over the course of this whole fiasco, and why it was stupid, and why a lot of the arguments being used by one side or the other held no water whatsoever, and they were based purely on emotion and with very little fact and, personal opinion that really was not a well-informed personal opinion. See, I'm a firm believer that everybody is entitled to their opinion, but I tend to go with Harlan Ellison, something that he said in an interview I saw with him a while ago. One person, he was on a panel, a sci-fi panel, they're talking about how people are entitled to their opinion. And Harlan, who is quite well known for being vocal about his opinion, perks up and says, no, people are not entitled to their opinion, they are entitled to their informed opinion. And honestly, that's something, it may be a harsh view, but it's actually one that I tend to agree with. Because there are a lot of people out there who voice their opinions on people, but with no information whatsoever, nothing to back it up. And that, I think, is wrong. I'm all for free speech, don't get me wrong. I'm all for free speech, all for freedom of opinion, freedom of choice, etc. But, more so, I'm all for people informing themselves. Be informed people. Look up the information before you go, shooting your mouth off about something you don't really know anything about. And that definitely applies to the whole format war. Now, for anybody who was following it through message boards and such, I followed it a lot through Amazon.com, actually. There's two message boards on there. There's an HD DVD message board and there's a Blu-ray message board. And I followed it quite a bit through there. And it was crazy watching the arguments from one side or the other. It was just so full of emotion and passion. And it's a disc format, people. It's a disc format. Get over yourselves. Okay? It's a format war, one that should never have happened. It should have been sorted out before the products went to market, but it wasn't. So it existed. Deal with it, okay? So now that it's over, the HD DVD side is essentially crying foul, the feelings of betrayal and such. And you know what? It's your own damn fault. Nobody forced you to go out and buy one format or the other. You chose. You, as a consumer, based on your personal preference, chose HD DVD. So stop whining about it, okay? It's the format that lost. The end. That's the gamble that you intentionally chose to participate in when you invested in one format or the other. The same goes for people who invested in Blu-ray, okay? It was inevitable that at some point one would win out over the other. And that's the way it went. So stop whining. Please, just stop whining about it. You lost. You picked the losing side. The end. It's kind of funny. I go on and on about people getting overly emotional about it, and then here I am ranting and raving and frothing and spittle flying everywhere. It's just so frustrating to see people who basically just are so out of touch with the reality of a situation. It's like you picked the losing side. Deal with it. That's the risk that you ran when you chose one or the other. Storage capacity is a big deal. If I were to go out and buy a spindle of 100 Blu-ray discs, 25 gigs per disc times 100. We're talking 2.5 terabytes of storage on a single 100 disc spindle. Now, the flip side of that, a spindle of 100 HD DVD discs, that's 1.5 terabytes of storage. So I've lost an entire terabyte of storage. 1 terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes. 1,000! That's huge! How can you people say that that's not significant? That is hugely significant! I know what I'm talking about.